What's up, Packer fans? Welcome into the Pack a Day podcast. I'm your host, Andy Herman. Thank you so much for joining me as always. Today, I'm going to be recapping Tuesday's practice. It was actually a fairly interesting practice. More of the offense winning for the most part, a few more really big plays on the offense's end, but overall, there were definitely some big plays that I'm really excited to talk about, actually, as well as some kind of, rookies and undrafted or an undrafted free agent that I want to talk about in greater detail as well. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. Before practice actually started, Matt LaFleur was asked about Aaron Rodgers, if he's going to play in the preseason. Sounds like the plan as of now is that Rodgers will not, or at least likely not to play in the preseason, that Jordan Love will get the vast majority of the snaps and that Kurt Benkert, likely finish off some games here and there. But this is 1,000,000% the right way to go, right? Ideally, maybe Aaron Rodgers gets in for a series and hands off a couple times and throws a quick bubble screen to, MVS or something. But really, what does that do? Rodgers is going to be able to go to New Orleans week 1, and the fact that he wouldn't have played any preseason snaps will mean absolutely nothing. I can tell you unequivocally, Aaron Rodgers is ready to go right now. He could start the game tomorrow, and he can do everything that he wants to be able to do. He's looked insanely sharp all camp long so far. If there was any question as to, has he lost a step? Will he need to, is he motivated for this? He looks fantastic. He looks absolutely fantastic. So Jordan Love needs every rep he can get. I mean, frankly, that's what is going to make this preseason so exciting, right? There's going to be a variety of players that I think are going to do that, but 1A on that list is Jordan Love, and seeing how he can perform, seeing how he goes through calling the plays, no huddle situations, 2-minute drills, all of that stuff. All of it's going to be super exciting to see, and it's 1,000,000% the right call by Matt LaFleur that Jordan Love will be the quarterback for the vast majority of the preseason snaps. The other piece of news, Rashawn Gary returns from injury, so that's a great sign. Also, Matt LaFleur mentioned that none of the injuries outside of Randy Ramsey's seem to have any real significant, concern. So it sounds like any injuries that players are going through right now, week, give or take a couple days, and they should be back in there. So that is a great sign as well. When you start hearing hamstrings for some of these players, like a Kenny Clark, you can easily get concerned. But it sounds like as of right now, Randy Ramsey's is the only injury that has any sort of long-term connotation to it. So again, obviously not great for Ramsey, but good for the rest of the players that have found themselves on the injury list so far. The only player that was not at practice, which was a new absence, was Stanford Samuels, the second-year cornerback. He was out of practice on Tuesday, so he is another one of those players that needs every rep that he can get. So hopefully he can get back sooner rather than later, but missed Tuesdays, and hopefully he can get back out there for Wednesday's practice, but only time will tell there. All right, let's jump into some actual practice news and notes. And the play I am still honestly in awe of and just gushing about, and I can't wait to tell you about it, is the Amari Rodgers reception. Now, this was Amari Rodgers versus Darnell Savage, one-on-one in receiver versus DB drill. And let's just start by saying this is basically like a Madden mini game, right? This isn't real football. There's not 10 guys on defense to help you out. There's no pass rush. The quarterback is a clean vision to the wide, to the wide receiver, to the target, and the corner has, or the DB has no leverage that they can press to get help at any other side. It's not real football. However, there are things that translate to the NFL, which is why they do it. And the offense and defense both take these matchups very seriously. You can tell the competitive juices get flowing. There's technique stuff that they can all work on. And I'll say this was the result of the play. It was Amari one-on-one versus Darnell Savage. Amari made a legitimate full body dive towards the football. This was not like he jump and dove and maybe it was a full dive, laid out completely and caught the pass. And that's what's going to get everyone buzzing, right? Is this insane catch by Amari Rodgers, which was. And if that were the only aspect of this play that I could talk about, it would still be the 1A thing that I'm talking about today, because it was that good of a catch. The catch was phenomenal. But I was much more geeked out about how Amari Rodgers gained separation from Darnell Savage. Now, this isn't an undrafted safety. This isn't a rookie safety or a rookie corner that he's going against. Now, it's not exactly a corner, right? Savage isn't a pure corner. He's not a pure cover guy. He is a safety, but this is a very good football player who is veteran savvy in your third year, but knows how to play the game, knows how to cover routes like this. And Amari Rodgers brings his route upfield and then cuts inside like he's doing a post, gets Darnell Savage just moving in that direction a little bit, gives him a little like kind of nudge in that direction. Nothing that would ever get called in a game in a million years, no offensive pass interference. Just gets his momentum going that way and then makes a hard cut and explodes in the opposite direction while the ball is in the air, mind you. Like, so the ball's in the air, he makes this cut, and it was gorgeous. How he gained separation on that play, that is not a play that rookies make. It's just not. It is so rare. Like, yes, could there, like Terry McLaurin, maybe was he doing some of that stuff in his rookie year and a very advanced route runner? From time to time, you'll see it, but it's very, very rare. And how he got open on that play and how he knew how to gain separation, then tracking the ball midair, diving catch, it is as good of a play from any wide receiver that you will see, but a rookie wide receiver that's known as more of a, kind of gadget slot guy, Amari Rodgers is chock full of talent. How that, kind of manifests itself in the NFL and on game days will remain to be seen. We don't crown anyone until they go out and do it on a consistent basis on Sundays and Mondays, Thursdays, etc. But he's off to a fantastic start. And that is one of those plays where the result was the wow, but the process has you so much more jacked up because that's how you separate in the NFL. It's nuance, it's detail. And to see that as a rookie, that stuff's just special. And that has me, as you can tell, legitimately buzzing still from watching that play. Another great play. I have talked about on multiple of these episodes already how Robert Tonyan is not dropping anything. He is catching everything that comes his way. Well, finally, we get a shot play to Robert Tonyan. And Robert Tonyan looks right, can't really locate the ball, looks back left, finally sees the ball, and it's coming down to his right. Last second adjustment to his right. Now, this is like a 45, 50-yard pass, right? Like, this is not this is a shot play down the field from Aaron Rodgers. And he locates it at the last second, late hands, catches it, comes down with it. Huge play for the offense. Tonyan has been fantastic. Like, if you're throwing at Bobby Tonyan right now, he's coming down with it. Like, he is getting open. He is catching everything. It doesn't matter if it's short, intermediate, long. It does not matter. Tonyan is finding a way. He also caught a touchdown in team activities. He continues to be a massive red zone threat. He looks fantastic. Now, he could be better in everything and still not end up with double-digit touchdowns like he did a season ago. Like, there's some amount of just like luck that goes into that where like you got the right play call at the right time against the right defense and everything. But like, Robert Tonyan is past luck. He is past manufactured offense. He is a very good football player, and I'm really excited to see how he's going to be able to perform through the course of the season because I believe he's taken a step even from what he did on the field a season ago, which is saying something. And then, the last really big play that was really noteworthy, we're doing like kind of red zone one-on-ones, right? So these are like 2-yard line, one-on-one, corner versus receiver, safety versus tight end, things like that. And it's a fade to Devin Funchess. Josh Jackson, really good coverage on the play. And this is our first real big-time glimpse of Devin Funchess and his ability to go up and get the ball, big leaping ability, great wingspan. He goes up and he absolutely mosses Josh Jackson. Like, Josh Jackson's one of those where like he's like, I got it. And then just a much bigger dude jumped way higher than you and just snatched, like, taking candy from a baby. It was impressive, to say the least. And, I still think that, Devin Funchess is grown as a route runner overall. But if Funchess makes this team, he has the ability to be a true weapon in the red zone. And with Aaron Rodgers' precision and with Funchess's improved route running, and then the ability to just go do that, where if you get a corner on you that's just too small, he's just going to go up and make the play. That's something that caught my eye on practice on Tuesday as well. So, awesome, unreal play by Amari Rodgers. Great catch by Robert Tonyan. And then the moss by Devin Funchess. Those were the 3 big plays of the day. two other players who I thought had really nice days at practice: Kylan Hill and Patrick Taylor. I cannot wait to watch these two players in preseason because while Jordan Love is going to get the bulk of the carries or bulk of the snaps at quarterback, I guarantee you, along with Dexter Williams, but Kylan Hill, Patrick Taylor are going to get a huge amount of carries at running back. Jones isn't going to get much. Dylan will probably get a cup of coffee, but it's going to be the rest of those running backs that carry the load in preseason. I think Kylan Hill and Patrick Taylor are going to absolutely show out. Two totally different players. But, I'm literally, this is another one of those moments where I'm thinking this out loud. Kylan Hill reminds me a little bit of Warrick Dunn. Now, that's high praise, but his ability to cut and his vision and how he sees everything. And it's one thing where you'll see a player that maybe can kind of like cut to daylight. He can cut to set up another cut. He is so fluid as a runner. I talked about on the video after I broke down his college tape and did the full scouting report on him. I was way overexcited about a 7th round pick, and I couldn't find any significant flaw in his game. I was so excited when Green Bay drafted him. The tape was beyond what I could have imagined for a 7th round pick. But at the same token, I'm thinking, Andy, there's a reason 32 teams had him as a 7th round pick. I'm sure something's going to show up. I've now seen him at multiple practices. I have yet to find anything that I don't think he can do at the NFL level. He needs to improve as a overall receiver. He needs to improve as an overall pass protector. He's not a finished product yet, right? He's a rookie, obviously. He hasn't even played his first preseason game. And again, we're not crowning anyone until they do it on Sundays. But everything I could have expected out of Kylan Hill and everything that I saw on that tape originally, I've seen now in camp. Immeasurably excited, probably way too overexcited about Kylan Hill and how he's looked at camp so far. Patrick Taylor, totally different runner. Almost like some Eddie George. And again, I'm not saying he's Eddie George, but some Eddie George to his game. Eddie George had this weird blend of just pure size and power, but he had a quick first step explosion. There were plays today where you watch Patrick Taylor do some of that, and most running backs don't move like that, especially at that size. You just don't see it. So for him to carry that power and that size and that bulk, but to be able to put his foot in the ground, he made a couple really nice reads, a couple really nice cuts, and then gets north and south. And then again, he's not somebody that you easily are going to take down in the open field. So again, I don't know how many overall running backs they're going to keep, and I don't know how redundant a Patrick Taylor is to an A.J. Dillon at this point, but I'm very excited about these running backs and the running back group as a whole, and I think preseason is going to be really fun to watch with both Kylan Hill and Patrick Taylor. I think both those guys could put up some serious yardage if they get the blocking they need from the offensive line ahead of them. And then a couple last notes. Undrafted free agent that has by far caught my eye the most this offseason. Rookie minicamps, OTAs, and now training camp. Innis Gaines, safety out of TCU. He has made so many plays that have kind of just not gone unnoticed, but like when it first started happening in OTAs and minicamp, I'm like, oh, there's the guy wearing Tramon Williams' old number 38. And you're just like, Innis Gaines, all right, well, we'll see how that works out, and then all of a sudden, day after day after day, it's like, oh, there's 38. Oh, there's 38 again. Today, one-on-ones, interception, one-on-one, diving pass breakup. Like, for a safety, an undrafted safety, his coverage has been really, really good. Something that Henry Black has struggled with, something that Vernon Scott has struggled with. Some of these safeties have struggled in coverage in camp so far this year. Innis Gaines is not one of them, and you cannot have in today's NFL enough guys who are strong in coverage. Innis Gaines has shown that. Now, teams are going to be insanely important. Special teams obviously going to be insanely important for Innis Gaines to make this roster. And he's got still an uphill battle because, Will Redmond might be that fourth guy. We'll see. Henry Black, Vernon Scott, guys that were on the 53 at different times during last season. Both of, especially Henry Black as of late, getting reps with the ones. Christian Uphoff is, coming out, was thought to be their best undrafted free agent, and he's made some plays as well, including on Tuesday. So it's not an... Sorry, that's a tornado warning, apparently, so good thing I'm in my basement. Innis Gaines has been really impressive as an undrafted free agent. And again, of all the undrafted free agents, he has been the 1A guy on my list so far. Couple last notes until I apparently board up the house here as we have a tornado warning going on. Jordan Love made a really nice throw and 2-minute drill to Tompkins, number 6. Great pump to get the defense to bite, and then just an absolute dime. Tompkins caught it and then ended up, I guess, out at the 2-yard line. As we all first saw it, I think we all thought it was a touchdown, us on the sidelines, but apparently he was out at the 2, and then there was a false start, and the offense eventually kind of sputters out, and the defense wins the drive. But gorgeous throw and read from Love, and the pump and go was just perfectly executed. And then last but not least, we actually got to see Amari Rodgers take a handoff as a running back in the backfield, which was fun to see as well. Didn't really do much, but still cool to see some of the wrinkles that undoubtedly Matt LaFleur has planned for Amari Rodgers. That's going to do it for me today. Hopefully I'm back here tomorrow, assuming my house and studio here is still standing after our tornado warning here. But appreciate you as always for joining me. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, and as always, go Pack Go.